if you like, drag the inflation rate to a single digit, the real man determining inflation is at the market.
Personally, I just think it all boils down to greed. Our leaders are greedy. No system in this country is working. It's not only the agriculture sector, but no system in this country is working.
Those who are campaigning for the climate change, ask the kind of vehicles they use.
Our neighbor countries, who in terms of farming or agriculture, Ghana was doing better than. So all of a sudden, they are leading us. All of a sudden, we have to depend on those countries for most of our food. Personally, I just think it all boils down to greed. Our leaders are greedy.
If you don't do a good job, the government of the day will come after you. Will you take that contract?
No. You see,
You will
nobody
take it.
cares. Let me tell you.
But that's where the point is. That is where the point is.
Everybody's playing according
We are
to the
supposed
system.
to care.
No. Everybody's playing according
That's
to
the point
the
I'm
system.
trying to make.
Let me tell you. 5 days ago, there was a report that was published by South Africa, News 24, about Haruna Idrisu. You heard it.
Yeah.
If I become a president, I know I'll be the most corrupt because
So you see, okay, guys, welcome to another exciting episode. Charlie, today the house is full already. I mean, I'm super excited to have, like very important people. This house, to my immediate right, I have the richest farmer in the whole of Ghana, the richest young female farmer in the whole of Ghana. Bedao is in the building, a farmer and a climate advocate. She's really doing well when it comes to, climate issues and all of that. So that's why we keep having her on the show. And to my immediate left, I have, she's one of the finest, when it comes to broadcasting in Ghana. You know what I mean? Superstar. She's no joke. I mean, I'm super excited to have my very own queen. She's the queen of the airwaves. Nobody can contend that. Queen Rohia is in the building. Queen Classy, welcome to the podcast. We are super excited to have you here.
I'm honored to be here.
I don't say this podcast will be fire. And I also have my own brother, Robicon. He's the man of fire.
Boss.
You know the joke, bro.
Everybody's boss.
They're gonna give you fire right now.
Hey, no.
So, Charlie, today you guys should be ready for fire.
Yeah.
And today we are having a very interesting conversation to discuss, because it's a conversation that involves all of us, because we all eat food. Recently, we read that if Ghana don't take time, there's going to be food insecurity in the country because of the fact that right now, if you go to the market, even tomatoes you used to buy for like 1 cedi, now it's selling for 10 cedi and more, and people are really, really, really concerned. So I think it's something, and I think World Food Program came out to say that from now till August or so, there's going to be serious food crisis, food insecurity in Ghana. And this is something that's is very concerning, and I think we should talk about it. Thankfully, we have somebody who is a farmer in the house. Why are tomatoes costing that much? And other food stuff. Because when was that? My wife bought tomatoes for 10 cedis. She showed it to me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Just 5." Were they even up to 5? Small ones, 5.
It's really bad this time around.
What is happening?
Yes, it's really bad. And it's not only tomatoes. I think it's cut across
other food,
almost, all the foodstuffs. And it's for various reasons. But first and foremost, I think we'd have to look at it from the aspect of the weather. So that's the climate change.
Okay.
So climate change has affected almost all aspects of our lives. Yes, and including the food aspect, which is a very crucial and tangible aspect of our lives. Because of climate change, we have seen a change in the weather patterns, especially the rains. Yes, so let's come back to Tamale, for instance. We all know Tamale is hot, but this time around, the heat is extreme. The heat we are experiencing now is extreme. Just a couple of months ago, I'm a vegetable farmer. I lost almost half field of my farm.
Wow.
Yes, to the heat.
Wow.
Especially farming during the dry season. It also made it very expensive. So most of farmers who are actually growing during dry season, they had to stop because it made it very expensive in the sense that we required more water, at least quadruple of the amount of water we used. We required more of that. So it's just if we look at it from that climate as change aspect, I think that has contributed more to that, because there has been an increase in farmers, like people who are actually join in farming. Yes.
Okay.
So we wouldn't
So
say
that
like
should have even made it more, yeah.
So why are we experiencing
yeah.
this now? So a major part of it, or a major cause of it, is just the climate change. Apart from the rain patterns, the soil moisture too, it has affected that, because of the extreme nature of the heat. The moisture content in the soil has been affected drastically. So all these things. Aside that, I would say we are still holding on to the conventional methods of farming. And I think the world has moved past that. Our population has moved past that. So it's high time we also look at ways, technological and innovative ways of farming. We try to explore those areas and see how best we can, because it looks as if climate change is here. What are we doing to actually live with it, at least? So we need to also look at it from that angle.
Okay.
Yes, what mitigations are we going to leverage on? Yes, whilst battling with the climate crisis.
I'll come back to, what we are doing about it. Let me come to Robicon. She says it's more like a demand and supply issue now, because there's not, like, we don't have a lot in the market. So definitely the prices will go up. What is your take on the issues?
Well, good day. I look at it differently. Looking at climate change has become a global phenomenon.
Issue.
But if you have other development partners, or if you like, let me not talk about the sub-Saharan Africa, but globally, you get to realize that, like the World Bank reports indicated, that issues, especially for Ghana, when it comes to food security and even increases in prices of goods and services, one has to do with the depreciating of the cedi.
Okay.
We have a currency that is completely in comatose. It's actually wobbling. So if you have a currency weak as that, look, I will not be surprised if the cedi hits 20 Ghana cedis
Before the end of the year?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Because of the way things are going. Look, the reason why I don't want us to blame so much on climate change, we know it's a global phenomenon, but then if you have just a neighboring country like Burkina Faso, they are just, I think in June, they are going to inaugurate a plant, a tomato plant. Look, processing plant. Yesterday, I saw the story and I said, this is even under a military regime. By the close of 2024, they are going to actually commission a gold refinery. This is under a military regime. So if you have a system like that, that sets priorities right. Look, we actually brought something we call Planting for Food and Jobs. We went all the way to the Upper West region to to inaugurate a project called the Rearing for, Food and Jobs and all that. What is the status? Now we are told that we are going into Planting for Food and Jobs, the second phase of it. Yet the first phase, Krano, that we were told a lot of fascinating lies.
Yes.
That we have over 750,000 jobs created. They have added loading boys, and even if you pass by and they say help lift a load, they will tell you that you are part of the employment. And these are the things that we are facing as a people. So if you have a system like this, agriculture, look, today as we speak, we are just told that we have a system that has spent about 11.9 million dollars on Pualugu multi-purpose dam.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you say that you have spent such an amount of money on Pualugu multi-purpose dam, in fact, if you let's do a rational round-off figure of 12 million dollars on a project that is about $930 million. So the Pualugu multi-purpose, I have visited the facility, the area. I have taken photos, I've taken videos of that place. I think I went there with Razak. He's at Sagani TV. We just took a trip and went to that place. And when we went there, I interviewed the farmers within that area. Now, what happens in that area, in that place, is that even where they stood and covered, cut the sword, go there and see. The farmer there has actually turned the whole place into, a pepper plantation.
Wow.
This is a place that we have already sunk about 12 million Ghana cedis on. Dollars on. Then you turn around and say that, oh, global phenomenon. So we should all sympathize with the system. It's just that we have leadership with misplaced priorities. When you have a sinking city, you cannot blame it on global phenomena. When you have a system, look, if we have prioritized agriculture, you are the farmers. Let's say that when they are putting fertilizer to farmers with subsidies, do all the farmers even get it? Farmers will have to even bribe to get fertilizer.
Yeah.
Even now, the piece of land that we can farm on, they have sold many of them to galamseyers. Then you come and complain that, yes, it's, what's the name? How do you call it?
Global phenomenon.
Global whatever it is. No. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes I think that we must hit it and let leadership understand that day in, day out, citizens are appreciating issues. Look, as we speak today, there are so many other young people that even if we are not there currently, tomorrow they'll speak on our behalf. Look, if you have a system that we barely imagine, a politician will go and mount a platform and tell us that we will build a giant mosque. That's when you go to Saudi Arabia, you see it. When you know that agriculture is there. So you see, the agricultural issues are just bare for us to see. We have the understanding that the ordinary farmer out there, look, today cocoa farmers are complaining. Why are they complaining? Because they are not getting the, needed dividends. When many of their farms have been taken care of by galamsey, destroying their crops. So why wouldn't you see a price increase? So if you promise that we'll move from taxation to production. Today, it has nothing to do with politics. It's common sense. If we are not getting our production priorities right, what are we talking about? Food security. Look, we are importing almost everything. For you to get a stronger city and curb inflation. Look, it's not about the figures that they are banditing around. Oh, inflation has lowered to about 25%, 23%. Look, inflation is just the rate at which prices have been increased. It has been slowed. But it has not been. Why? Currently, we just had tipper drivers announcing new prices. What has that got to do with it? You see, I think the Ghana Statistical Service is one of the major problems we are facing in this country. You just change figures anyhow. Look, go to the market. Nobody will tell you. They don't care about what you are talking, the figures you are banditing around. Go to their Babu market and see. And see how women are really going through a hell, or traders are going through a hell. Apart from their lands being sold and taken care of, taken over from them. It has to do with how much they buy it. Look, if you are a trader, let's say that you are dealing with clothing. You buy it from China. The amount of money you have ordered it from China, by the time it gets to this country, the price is different. If you sell it at that same cost, you won't be able to go back to the market to get the same quantity. So as the goods are being transported, prices are already going up. So what it means is that you have to also thinking of what to add, so that when I finish selling, I can go back for the same commodities. Many of the businesses, they are only, because as they buy old products, or the products are still at the shop, they are not even getting people to buy. So what happens? They think that, okay, let me adjust them. If not, if I finish selling these old products and go back, I can buy the new ones. So you realize that as your CD keeps falling, it keeps falling day by day. Yesterday, I heard some guys on radio arguing that, the CD is it's just 4.6, 4.8. Look, the figure is with Bank of Ghana. Go to Abochi. You will have a different rendition. The Abochi man out there can give it to you for 16. If you buy, fine. If you won't buy, fine.
And they have the dollar, so
I'm telling you. But you see, some of us, we are also trying to dollarize. Any particular money you have, you have to make conversions.
Convert it, yeah.
So I think that with the farmer issue, with the food I mean, insecurity or security in this country, we must tackle it from a holistic point of view. If we grow more, if government, apart from the chop, everybody is trying to grab something, let's invest it in the farming. Because everybody is giving lip service. Oh, agriculture is the way to go. Agriculture is our only bane. I mean, it's our only way to survive. Actually, they are only talking. The willpower is not there to support the ordinary farmer out there. And we must face the realities. Because you see, there's a reason why many of us, the young people, don't even bother to go into farming. You think if we're seeing people riding Lamborghinis and all those Benz and all, if you even poison somebody to take his farm, you do it. So we would want to see the government's commitment in supporting farmers. Let me tell you, his hypocrisy. Those leaders encouraging us to go into farming, they are not farmers themselves. Now they tell you that, private sector is the engine of growth. Many of them are owning businesses and they are still working with government. So you realize that it's hypocrisy that is not making us go forward. So I would never in any form sit down and blame a trader or a farmer who thinks that I must adjust my prices to keep my business afloat. So many of the women, I do not have, if you want to transfer any aggression, transfer it to leadership. Let the right policies play so that we are all, we vote politicians to come not to share money to us, but to create an enabling environment so that we tap into the opportunities available. I'm not waiting for any politician to give me money, but create the enabling environment so that I'll make use of the opportunities the environment. Why do you think many people are running to the US and other places? It's simply because the opportunities are there. Joe Biden don't go around distributing money to people. It's just that if I work, I'll get what I deserve. When they collect my tax, they use it to do the needed thing. Over here, the value is not the same. So in terms of food security, prices will look, if you like, drag the inflation rate to a single digit. The real man determining inflation is at the market. You still, then when you buy a product and say, let me buy more, and go back, they say, no, lampa here. They have increased the price. That is how it's going to run until we all agree that, no, let's set our priorities, invest more into agriculture. Irrigation, look, as of 2014, the number of irrigation sites in the northern region were only 4. There were about 44, but 4 were operational. Now, when St. Ghana did that particular, because I've actually been trying to get a latest of the irrigation sites as a result of the One Village, One Dam. One Village, One Dam, when the minister came and took us around, and went to even Upper East, we went Northeast, and we went to all those places. Then you see a dugout. Because it was raining season, they'll say, water day inside. The dry season is the real deal, where people will have to use the water they're stored for irrigation farming. Go into some of the areas that these dams were even established and find out how many of the residents are into farming. Only a few. We went to Yamo Karaga. Yamo Karaga is actually under the Nanton district. That area, go and then find out. Yes, the people predominantly, they are supposed to be farmers. But can they farm? They would rather take into hunting. Because if we want to farm, even water to drink, we are not getting it to feed crops. These are the challenges. Either they go into animal rearing. But for the irrigation farming, only a few people will be engaged. It's not like nobody, but only a few people will engage in that. Meanwhile, now, most of the rural areas are not rural.
So if I get you, what you're trying to say is that though climate change could be an issue, but then there are ways we could have also made things a little bit better than what it is now.
You see, this issue of climate change, though I really admire the campaign around it, but is it something we have control over? Why? Those who are campaigning for the climate change, ask the kind of vehicles they use, the emission rate. You put your people together at at a symposium or a particular workshop to educate them on climate change. Your car alone, the emission, The big cars that some of them even, the fuel that they these politicians moving around all over the place. What are they doing? Now they tell you that if your motorbike is even smoking, it means that you are contributing to it. Now they are taxing us for it. These are the things that we are talking about. So you see, I just don't want to say that the climate change, yes, it could be a factor. But I think it's just it's just a drop in the ocean. There are so many, when people go from here to Dubai, how do they turn a desert into a very congenial atmosphere? You should know that it's about doing the right things. It's about prioritizing certain things. If you don't prioritize those things, how are you going to, it's not going to be possible.
Okay.
So I think that agriculture, if we are to, let's not just do the talk, because the talk is now like a broken record. It's now like we are talking too much and doing less. And that's the reality. So I think that we have to take a second look at those things.
All right, great, Classy.
Yes.
Well, what's your take? Climate change, leadership. What's your take on it?
Well, for me, when it comes to climate change, I believe these things, they are natural, like it's nature. So as much as we know that climate change is a factor, but I think that it is about priorities, and it's about, farming is lucrative. It's very lucrative. When farming was farming, it was good for those who were doing it, So government has to do a lot more. This planting for food and jobs, when it was launched, I was so happy. I was like, so it means that we're going to get a lot more people going to farming. The northern region and the 5 northern region, there are lands there. It's not just even about, look at even cashew, farming cashew. It's now they're also complaining. It's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be tackled. Wow. Now, when Vice President was in the Savannah region on his campaign tour, he mentioned in the Savannah region that we have the largest land area in Ghana. And so he would want Savannah, or he would transform Savannah region to become one of the food harvest for Ghana, and probably even beyond. And so I am actually excited. I'm anticipating for that to happen. But it was a condition that if he's if he's elected as president. So, however, it is a very good initiative, and whoever that becomes president should take agriculture seriously. Because a hungry people, you can imagine a hungry people, what are we going to do? We're going to die out of hunger. And that will not serve the purpose with which we are living. And so for young people to be productive, we must be able to feed. That was why I said, let's talk about this first, because food is very important. I come in here and I smell, something very good, and it's appetizing and stuff like that. Please, food is very important to me. It is very important. So please, I'll be with her. I'll be hanging her bag around so that.
So do you agree to some of the things they shared?
Of course, of course. Like I said a lot of factors actually contributes to this food insecurity. And climate change was just one. Government policies. It's so unfortunate we are in a country which has the leaders prioritizing themselves. It doesn't have to do with any political colors. It's like all our leaders are like that. If you say this person or this party is like this, you vote for party A, they also come in with, these policies. They give us the policies all right, but they don't implement it. And other times too, they would mention the policies, allocate budget and funding for these policies, and just a few people or one person would actually sit on it. Like Mr. Robicon rightly mentioned about farmers, some policies or some kind of government helps or initiatives not reaching many farmers. That is a fact. When they come out with these policies, it's supposed to actually help the rural farmers, the peasant farmers. They are basically farming, like they are struggling with this. But when they come up with those policies, it is those people who are already strong, those big farmers, at the end of the day, they would sit on these things. So it doesn't even get, like right now, there's they are doing a new fertilizer program. If your farms or if your company is registered, they have the number of acres what fertilizer they will give you, and if you are not registered too. But if you see the hassle involved in it, it's very pathetic. a layman or a peasant farmer, I believe strongly, will not be able to benefit from this. Because even those who understand English, if you go to the office, I went to the Nantong office, and if you see the hassle there and, the protocol there, like, it's like everything has been politicized in this country. So not until we actually move past that or we move from that, we would always struggle. Because there are, this in our neighbor countries, who, in terms of farming or agriculture, Ghana was doing better than.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, they are leading us. All of a sudden, we have to depend on those
them.
countries for most of our food. Onions, for instance, we don't farm onions. In fact, in Tamale, we can't even depend or this onion farming in Tamale cannot sustain the whole of even Tamale alone, not to talk of northern region. So we have to depend on them for onions. For tomatoes, we can't even come close. Because the tomato farming in Tamale can only maybe cater for just an area in Tamale. You can imagine. So, and it's just as a result of bad leadership and greed, I would say. It's just greed because they come up with these policies, they sweet thank people and very beautiful. Actually, if we were to be implementing those policies, I think we wouldn't have been here. Yes. So it will keep getting tighter as we are going. Because most of these things, we can't even grow it here. Or we've even stopped growing it here because of so many issues or reasons. And because they've politicized it, some of our seeds, even some of the seeds we use here, the quality of the seeds, most countries wouldn't use it. But because everything is politics here, they would allow it to be imported. These are smuggled goods. So the seeds are not even quality for farmers to use to get that kind of yield they require. So if government actually had prioritized the farming, I don't think they would even in the first place allow these kind of seeds to get into the country. Because most farmers, they don't have that education. When they go to the market or the stores, any seeds they get, okay, this is a cabbage seed they buy, but they don't actually know what it contains, yes, or can do. So we have to actually move past that or from there, from the greed and those policies that they always come up with and still wouldn't go ahead to implement. So me personally, I just think it all boils down to greed. Our leaders are greedy. No system in this country is working. It's not only the agriculture sector, but no system in this country is working. Because even if you look at it, they came up with this buffer stock thing. So I don't even understand what is going on with the buffer stocking. I know a lot of people who have made incredible amounts of money from it. In fact, they are now rich through the buffer stocking. But like, to what benefit is buffer stock to the entire country? It doesn't make sense. They actually came up with that policy because, or in the name of storing foods, for non-seasonal periods. But what are we experiencing now? So it's just greed. When they bring up the policies, one person wants to make become rich through it.
I think I totally agree because it's just about prioritizing what is important. Because I remember ever saying that, like, even if we don't have that many resources, which I doubt, if like every president comes and just prioritize one particular sector, I think we'll be making progress. If like farming is important to us, a president comes and prioritize farming, majority of your investment is going to farming, I think we'll be making headway. Another one comes, the roads, majority, make sure everything is done as it's supposed to be done. I think like we are not a serious country. In any serious country, the way things are done in this country, like there will be a lot of people in jail. A road is given to a contractor. In the next 1 year, the road is bad, and nothing is done about it.
No, but I don't know how possible we can blame the contractors for it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, if like a road is given to a contractor and he doesn't do a good job, and is taken on.
No, you see, you can't
definitely the next contractor would do a good job.
Is
There's
that
no
contractor
single-
even a contractor?
That's the point. So that's the point. So it means that it will
Is
roll
it?
back to a lot of other hands.
No,
because if the contractor is given
the
the
problem,
right budget to do the job and he doesn't do a good job, he can be prosecuted.
The larger part of the problem is not just the contractor. You see, we can blame every contractor. Look, why? The job you are doing, you want when they give you a project, you execute it, and somebody will see that and say, who did it? Then they'll say it's you, and then we'll lead it to you. So that's also going to be the contractor's interest as a businessman in the first place. But the problem we've always been talking about is from leadership. Let me tell you. Let's say you see this road in front of your space. It's been awarded, though. The contractor that is giving the contract, it's never it's possible that he's never the original contractor. They'll first of all give it to a party boy or somebody who is linked, has some links with a political party. Now he takes this contract. He cannot work on it because he's not a contractor. He sells it to another person. The person thinks that, okay, we are waiting for mobilization. We've not been able to get yet. Okay, let me also sell it off. As you are selling, the value continuously.
So that's the point I'm making.
As the value continuously,
at the end of the day, all that is criminal.
So as you continue selling it, the value decreases. So the end executor, who is the contractor that is working on it, believes that if I go and take a loan from the bank to start that project, because most of them go for loans from banks to start these projects. So I take the loan to come and work on the project. Look, if I don't take time, look at prices of materials, building materials. You will get the most quality of materials to work on it. The money you go and take at the end, when government pays you, even government can take over a year or two, even 4 years to pay you. When you take it, you can't use it. It can't even service that loan.
That's the same point I'm trying to make.
So you see, I have made this particular point. When the vice president came and they invited, I think we were 5 media people they invited, and I was part of them. I said it in front of, when the vice president was talking about how, he wants our advice, how we could suggest certain things that he needs to do and all that. And I said, look, our problem, it has to do with quality of service. One of the, because some people also spoke about different things. So I had to I said, look, the person who raised issues about, contractors and then the job they are doing. And I came up with this issue. I said, look, you are awarding contracts to party boys. And then they can't execute those contracts. They are selling them off to other people. You, the end executor, goes to take the contract. You can't do anything with it. Because if you inject a lot of money into that project, I'm telling you, run at a loss. You're also a business.
But Robicon, do you know that, do you think that if you are a contractor and you know that this job that I'm going to take, I won't be able to do a good job, whether party boys, you bought it from party boys or not, and you know that if you don't do a good job, the government of the day will come after you. Will you take that contract?
No. You see, nobody cares. Let me tell you.
But that's where the point is. That is where the point is.
Everybody's playing according to the system.
We are supposed to care.
No. Everybody's playing according to the system.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Let me tell you. There's a road between King David and Tunai. I don't really know that area. Yes. On that stretch. It was handled by the regional vice chairman of the NPP, Alhaji Sande. Look at what he has done to that place. They raise certificates and collect the money. So a party chairman goes to take a contract, and under a space of 1 year, go and pass that in front of the wind and fire.
Yes.
Pass there and see how the road is. Yet he is moving around creating all kind of nonsense. Look, you see, this is a party chairman. Can't we hold him responsible? He just spread first face. And he has absconded.
And that's the point I'm making.
And he has gone to take... Look, if I knew that we're going to discuss such things, I have a list of contractors, even some of them raised certificates of projects they've not done, collected the money from road fund. Even the regional chairman of the NPP, Chairman Samba, has he's in that bit. Go to Sanarigo, from the Chief Palace Road, get into their district assembly, the Sanarigo Assembly. He has gone to collect the money. I
don't want us to. Go into the realm of.
Hold on. You see, I know.
Mentioning people, but the point I'm let me make my point. The point I'm trying to make is that it is important we understand that. Fine, it happens, but why is it happening in the first place? Because we've allowed it to happen.
So that is what I want to now tell you.
Elsewhere, it cannot happen.
Hold on. That's what I'm now telling you. The people who are committing these blunders, it doesn't me. Look, you see, whatever I say right now, let me just take responsibility for it.
No, I get it. I get it.
Because this one, I have said it over on radio several times, so I don't really think it makes any. Look, why? I want us to tackle it from the root. If you were the one who goes to take such a contract and misbehave like that, by now you'll be rotting in jail.
But
So if the people who they give these roads to are behaving that way, that is where the problem. You say we should go to why is it happening that way? And I'm now telling you why it is happening that way. Because the people in authority are political class. If you are not linked to a particular political party, you will not get such a contract.
So that
and
has
I'm
to
saying
stop.
that at the end of the day, leadership is where it falls on.
But that's the
so
point
if
I'm
the
making.
leadership in the country
Yes.
is sick, everybody will be sick. Why? You think in the US they don't have deviant citizens?
Yeah.
But because they know the system works. If I steal and they grab me, I'm going to jail. Nobody can call to beg me.
But here it doesn't happen like that.
Good, and I'm
Because of
saying that it's a
leadership.
system.
No, I'm not arguing.
So I'm
it's like
saying
you're
that-
not getting the point I'm making.
No, I get
I'm
it.
not arguing that leadership has a problem. But the point I'm making is that if we enforce our laws,
The
No, but you see,
enforcement
the
comes from who?
enforcement
So
comes
who is
from the
going to
leaders. You get
enforce
it.
it?
And I'm
so
saying
if I know that if I do this and I'll go scot-free, it will be a useless case.
so that's the point I'm making. So
what would be
we
the
all
issue?
are
I will
encouraging
continue.
leadership to do the right
No,
thing.
you cannot encourage leadership.
So
Lucy,
what do you do?
let me tell you, leadership
Yes.
it is not like, why? There's a reason we vote people into power. To solve our
So
problems.
right now, what do we do? Let's move forward from this.
Look,
right now, what do we do?
What do we do cannot be done by us. Those you vote into power, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
If they arrest me today, just a few days ago, one of my guys was arrested by the police because he was driving without license and he just called me. I can't turn a blind eye. But if I call the police and say, this is this way, they say, okay, but why did your guy do this? Please, let him go and do it. Let him go and ensure that he does. Maybe it's because for me, I have a relationship with somebody at the police. He thinks, okay, we'll let it go. But then, let him go and fix the problem. Somebody may not get that opportunity. They will drag him to the police, to the court, and fine him.
So it means it's not even only leadership. We are
So
all
I'm saying
in that same
no.
bracket.
So I'm saying even in advanced countries,
Yes.
they have opportunities like that.
Yeah.
But because the system works, if I know that I'll call a police and they say Chinchina, he will go to God. Next time when I go through that process, I'll not try it again.
But
So it's
sometimes
leadership.
also, even the process in acquiring these things, because if a road lines is, if I could go and the system is working and I don't have to pay bribe or I don't have to pay something for somebody to work with, for it to be done quicker than expected, or a premium service, then why would I go through the process? Because if it's expiring, then I apply and I get it in a year's time. How is that my fault? So the systems must work,
So-
just like elsewhere, because the systems are working. If you apply, they tell you 3
There's this
months.
guy-
You get
there's
it,
this
you
guy-
get it in 3 months.
It's the same point that
There's
who
this
made
guy.
the system work.
There's this
So
guy.
that's why I say we have to encourage for the
There's this
system to
guy
work.
called Chuni
Because
Jonas.
at the end
You
of
saw
the
what
day, that
he's
is all
doing.
we got. We have
Chuni-
to. We
what
have.
Chuni Jonas is doing. This place, the system is working 247. You see, that's very funny to talk about now. But he knows that, he was in Ghana. He's been in Ghana. He's lived in Ghana all his life. He goes there and realizes that, no, this place, if you misbehave, you will be dealt with.
Yeah.
And in Ghana, we have people who have been given some contracts. Who are those people? They are people with relations to the person who gave the contract. Look, if you take your brother and somebody who is your blood brother, you have your company and hand it over to him to manage. The way he will handle it will be different from if you give it to me, who is somebody that
Of
you
course,
just met.
of
You get
course.
it? So it's the same way that when you give contracts to people, you are in the same
But
camp
it also
with.
depends on how I relate with that my brother. Because
No.
if you are my brother and you do something wrong and I deal with you, you won't you if I give you,
You see,
another job, you make sure you do the right
just
job.
hypothetical. Let the reality look. There's an ideal situation and the reality.
No, but that's
In this
that's
form,
it.
in this form, we are talking about the realities against the ideals. Look, the person with the mandate to award contracts is a politician. Look, there's a particular trending issue currently, and I thought that we
And
would
the
have.
point I'm
Look, let
making
me
is
just
that
give this small example.
elsewhere they are doing it right. So why can't we do it right?
Look,
That's the point. That's the point
see,
I'm making.
okay.
You see,
Why
and
is it
I'm
that they
telling
are
you,
able to do it and we
are
cannot do
narrowing
it?
this.
We keep mentioning the fact that because people have relations, Everybody has relationships everywhere. So why
look,
can't we stop thinking about relationships and think about the country?
I said we are talking about the realities.
But that's what I'm.
You are talking about the ideal situation, and I'm telling you
that's
that.
That's why I said that to make the point of the reality you are talking about. It's happening elsewhere. So why is it that? Because that's the reality. It's happening elsewhere. In other places, things are working. Why is it that it cannot work here?
You should have been asking why you finish school and not get a job.
Those are all the questions.
So
why is it happening?
Why is it
here?
happening somewhere like that? So
Why
I'm
is it
telling you
happening
that
here?
we, as we are here discussing, we are talking about Ghana.
Yes.
And in Ghana, there are some examples you can't set anywhere else apart from here. And the examples are that we have gone beyond why is it happening in America and it's not happening here. We've gone beyond that. Now we are dealing with the reality. Whatever you change or you say will not change the president's mindset. How he's running the country is how he wants to run it.
What I'm saying, like
why when it was COVID-19, where other countries not giving their citizens stipends, paying them. Okay. Over here, we are still paying COVID levy. Why is it happening there? Is not happening here. I'm saying that we are dealing with a particular reality in this country, and that look, 5 days ago, there was a report that was published by South Africa News 24 about Haruna Idrisu. You heard it?
Yeah.
This is actually a report that when I read, look, I paid for, because the News 24 is a paid for channel for you to read. Yeah. When I read that document, I realized that the journalist was just making conjectures. I can't run to the market with conjectures. If you say the contracts have been given in Ghana, and those contracts, you believe that somebody has an influence over those contracts and he's been getting contracts, you are conjecturing. Just give instances and give documentation, then I can run with it. Maybe in South Africa it's not happening that way, but in Ghana, this is the reality. We know that we can all sit there and hazard accusations against people, but what will work is when you have it on paper. When Anas Aremeyaw does it, you see videos.
Yes.
Judges are picking goats and yams. We have seen them. Nobody can come and change our mind. Manasseh Azuri actually caught people on tape. SML deal. He got them on tape and got the man speaking to certain. We have the realities.
Are you saying that we should just throw our hands in despair and say, okay, everything is bad, look, so we should just,
whether you throw your hands or you don't throw your hands, the reality is there. It will still be there. But look, you see, this change we are talking about, it started from somewhere, and because we never saw it, that's why we are here. Look, even a child at kindergarten today has learned how to tell lies. So nothing will change. Look, if you want to, you can't straighten a dry stick that has already been bent. So what happens is that, unless, I pray that we don't get into a military regime.
Do we now have to adjust ourselves to conform
with that as a norm?
That is the point we are already adjusted. You've been able to survive till this. You have adjusted enough. So the issue, you have adjusted enough. Because as it stands now, you may actually want change. I'm telling you, but you are hypocritical. Let it be you. You will wish it were different. So in this country, everybody is calling for justice because it's not you. We are all fighting corruption because we have not gotten the opportunity to steal. Let them make you a DC for Tamale, or MC for Tamale. And you say, I want to do everything the way it's supposed to be. Even your parents will say you are cursed. That you are a fool because everybody comes and take his own. You come and you say you want to play holy. So the system has a problem. Look, I said it before. You take a cat to US will not make it cry like a dog. The issue is that you are from the same community and you have been made a leader, so your attitude can't change. Look, probably we made that mistake because we were actually in an era where maybe the Nkrumah era. Then you realize that the constitution that was developed at that time gave us the right to do certain things. Today, if you have the IGP selected by the president, it means that nothing can work. Almost all the top bodies that are supposed to fight corruption, the president has a hand in them. So that's the difference we were talking. Why is it happening somewhere? It's not happening somewhere. You see the reason why people are calling for a constitutional review, that we need to amend certain things. The president has too much power and hands in almost everything. So if we change our constitution in one way, change certain portions of it, then we'll see we can go. If I know that if I appoint you as, or if you are appointed by parliament, maybe the people, as the IGP, we are the only people who can sack you, but not any individual. So if we know very well that, the Electoral Commission boss is supposed to do our bidding as a people, the president does not need to appoint somebody. He knows that I'm independent. I can do my work the way I'm supposed to do it without any fear. So until the police, or when we want to see efficiency within the police service, they need to be independent. So I know that I can sanction the let the rule of law happen. Nobody will interfere into my job. Because today, if he wants to take a decision, he's thinking, somebody will trigger that, he should be sacked. And he's gone. So he also has family to feed. So let me just squall and go on pension. And that's it. And that's why we are where we are. We just finished speaking about issue of farming. It's the same system. So at least to change some of these things, we must cut down some of the powers of the president or the executive. Today, Parliament is going to sit because the Speaker has recalled them for emergency sitting. What are they expected to do? If they took a decision that, no, let's take a look at some clauses within the Constitution. The president remotes control everything, makes all the appointments, the important appointments. So when a person goes there, they think that I should serve him. I should get the loyalty. Today, look at the CJ, the Chief Justice. You saw the debacle that happened at the Supreme Court. And the way the CJ was talking. Yes, she has authority. But if you listen, I'm not a lawyer. But I think that if the people have a hand or puts in hand some of the appointments, the person sitting there knows that I'm independent. Like I said, even in the developed countries, they have rogues as citizens, criminals, and almost all the bad things. So I think that we must.
So for starters, we can look at amending our constitution.
Exactly. People have. That's why most of the young guys you see on the streets who are saying that we are freedom fighters, they've been campaigning that no, let's have a constitutional review because our president is too powerful.
And with all of these back and forth talking conversations, definitely at some point that constitution will be changed. And those are the steps I'm talking about.
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it will turn all of a sudden, but we need to have these conversations. We need to let people know that these things are things that are affecting all of us. At the end of the day, we all will never be in these positions where we will all be chopping. So at every point there will be people advocating for things to change so that the ordinary person would
also morality has been thrown to the dogs because if we are honest people elsewhere, leaders will when a crime is committed or even something they have no idea of, but it's under their leadership, they're able to resign.
And I clearly understand the point Robicon is making.
Something happens and they're able to resign. You as a citizen,
it is something that has gotten into
to have that courage to do crime, to continue to do it.
It is something that has gotten into into us to the extent that it's very difficult to change within the shortest possible time. There are even kids in kindergarten are picking up some of these things. But as a people, what do we do? What do we do if we really want to have change? But then one of the other aspects of it is that, just as he's saying, those who are supposed to make things change are the people who are enjoying from the rot. So at the end of the day, yes, it might not happen as we want, but for me, I have hope that one day, we just have that leadership that will be willing to to say that enough is enough. Let's just make things work.
No, I don't have any hope. Look, you see,
I know you know. Let me just spend.
Let me just spend a minute, and you see the reason why some of us have lost hope. She's talking about morality. Morality, almost everybody is bankrupt. But you see, as it stands now, everybody will talk in opposition that we need to do something about our constitution. He comes in, but when they are enjoying and they are very powerful, they said, no, Charlie, let it be like that. You vote somebody who will sit here if you vote me into parliament today, my mind will change. I hold a diplomatic passport. I know I'm taking some TNT and largesse somewhere. All these things, you even forget that we've ever spoken about them. These are the problems we have because people are corrupt. Almost everybody in this country is a criminal. Sometimes you don't understand though. But almost everybody. Look, let it pleases you and you see how you defend it. And that is where we are currently. So with the hope, sometimes some of us just think that no, I wish the military were still taking charge. But you see, now even the military, they are also corrupt. But you see, I believe strongly that for anybody who would have that sense of responsibility to at least change some clauses within our constitution, I believe that would be the turning point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when it has to do with who are we giving an opportunity to serve us.
Yeah.
If you are you are giving the opportunity, he knows that no, if I do this, the law is the law. Nobody will come for me.
To rescue.
Nobody will come and be defending.
Yeah.
Then he knows that I need to do the right thing.
And it just
And
needs
that's
to be
it.
triggered, and everybody will fall in line.
Yeah.
It's it needs to be triggered from the top, and everybody will fall in line. You see, human beings, like we adapt to the system because we see that it is not working.
Yeah.
If the system is, you think if a Ghanaian go to the US, they won't behave well. They will behave well.
You know, you see the reason why I said, because this topic is good though. You see, the reason I tell you that no, there's no hope. That is the reality. The ideal situation would have done, let's have hope that things will be better. Look, as we speak currently, any leader that will be voted in power and you want to take such action and make sure that you will not
To be
last.
fought, yeah.
You will never last. It's either you are killed. Look, in Nigeria, we are talking about how Abacha and look, you want to put up a particular change, people will fight you. We're talking about food importation and all that.
Yeah.
Say that you want to block rice importations. Rice importers will fight you underground. Some of them even contributed to your party coming into power by sponsoring. If any juju man they will go to and make sure that you don't function as a president, they will do it. Why you think people who said that Akufo-Addo is a disciplinarian, he's very strict. Today, he is now working a sleeping president. How can we get that developed? Meanwhile, this is the person that we touted so much in 2016. Who didn't speak highly of Akufo-Addo? And how he can take things around.
All right.
Today, this is where we are.
Yeah,
So that hope there, I'm telling you,
We are
they will
hopeless.
fight you and bring you down.
It is well. It is well.
So,
Ghana will move.
Yeah, let's try and navigate our way through that, right? So with the issue of the food insecurity, like I rightly mentioned, maybe we can also help ourselves by moving away from the conventional way of farming and adapting to the innovative ways. So I personally think it's high time government looks at it from a holistic point of view, by encouraging or giving young people that morale. And currently, Netherlands is the world leading food supplier. But in terms of land mass, Netherlands is
It's not close to
yes. So we can actually ask ourselves questions. What are they doing different? What are the methods they are using? What technologies are they leveraging on? So I think this is an opportunity for government to actually do what? At least get some young people from the country, sponsor them, and probably they can go there and study, learn these things. But unfortunately, if such a policy is passed, I know it's going to be within their families again.
People who benefit,
people who doesn't have that passion, So I hope we get
He is interested in knowing
I hope we get
why certain things are happening somewhere. You are even starting an example with Netherlands.
It's okay.
This Netherlands, look, this is a whole country built on water.
Yes.
But they've been able to create lands on water because they are below the
Don't worry,
sea level.
Ghana will work.
They are below the
Ghana will
sea
work.
level and see the kind of work they
I'm
are
hopeful. Ghana will work.
So
let's-
for hope, we must have hope.
if people can raise pillars on the ocean to create lands, we are here and then we are misbehaving. with
maybe
leadership
when I
and-
With all
become
the
president,
resources.
Ghana will work.
We'll campaign for it.
Okay.
Me, if I become a president, I know I'll be the most corrupt because because
You see, it's not just the top.
no, it's a system.
Everybody,
The system will automatically corrupt
corrupt
you.
you. Okay.
Why? Let me not be blasphemous, I'm telling you, if you don't take time and Jesus will return, we will corrupt him. Because you see, a lot has happened there.
Oh goodness.
He should stay up there
Oh,
because
my
already
goodness.
we are confusing
All right,
him
all
with
right.
the way we are
Not-
behaving
not
on
as-
earth.
Let's-
The ways things, the extent to which things have
So
spoiled
he
in
shouldn't
this
come
world.
to Ghana. He shouldn't pass through Ghana.
Oh, no.
He should stay there.